I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies. I've had enough.
Counter-terrorists win.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCC League stream, and well, we are back with the CS League of Loot.bet Season 3. This is gonna be the second map Mirage of the final best of 3 of the closed qualifier. Winner qualifies for the main event, loser is eliminated empty-handed. And well, of course, I'm not alone in the endeavor. My good friend and co-caster Kieran joining me, and I have to say, Kieran, train went very poor for Copenhagen Flames, and if there's anything we've learned from that is that the fact that Copenhagen Flames do fly a little bit on momentum, and they got shut down easily.
Yeah, definitely didn't go according to plan, right? Especially considering that what we saw against SJ with the 13-2 half on that first map.
Yeah.
Then to be absolutely destroyed by youngsters. Gonna bring a really interesting second map, I think. Especially considering that we know that CPH Flames definitely can be shut down on a map like this. It's one that they've choked on fairly recently against Heretics, where they had a 14-7 lead T side and weren't able to close it out. So the results, you know, they don't particularly stand in the favor of Copenhagen Flames. We saw youngsters play this map once as well, playing against Heretics just earlier, which was a 16-14 on Mirage. Again, unfortunate not be able to close out that map. But I think it shows good signs that they can win that many rounds, take it to that far of an extent. So both of these teams having their ups and downs, especially this map itself. But I think with youngsters, how good they looked on train, you've got to favor them for this one, right?
Yeah, I have to agree. If they transfer just half of what they were able to do on train, then we should be looking at a very similar, or at least a bit of a similar result in a way. Although it is going to be Copenhagen Flames that set themselves up pretty much the same way they did against SJ. It is going to be 2 men on the defense of B, 2 men on the defense of A. A bit of a dangerous maneuver. They are not really trying to gamble a site. They're just making sure they have the best chances and the best conditions for them. Roj on the Palace, supported by Consul. Oh, okay, Pasha finds himself one. Roj, good refrag at least, forces a bit of a response from youngsters, perhaps a fake. This is a double fake. Oh, I love it so much. Pasha sells the pin play. Now they know, okay, this could be B. The rotation's already coming through. God. This is what we wanted to see. Basso, though, finds one. The blinding flash and the delay is working out, and Hooksy shuts down a vital piece. Oh, no. That is not good. Roj, well done.
Yeah, didn't particularly go according to plan there. Not sure why Pasha didn't go and plant in default, but yeah, fair enough. Again, like you say, Basso and Hooksy being able to hold that B line as well as soon as they realized the bomb wasn't there. Well, unfortunately, they had all the info in the world. A little lucky for Roj that he survived, but nice little double piece out of him. This time, youngsters, they're not going to go for the force buy this time. Going to take that full eco to buy in the next. I like it. Farley, though, UG in hand, down to 2 points of health. That's a rough start for him. Technic the first to fall, but
boy.
Tudson instant reply with that Desert Eagle. They've got no Kevlar at this point, and this is already way too much damage, unfortunately, for this Copenhagen Flame side. And if they lose a couple more men, even if they win the round, this is where it gets now very difficult.
Yeah, indeed. I have to say, Shane, I think he knows there's somebody on the palace. Yeah, he sees him. There it is, the kill. Shane, the eagle in hand, absolutely amazing. And it is K. Roger, though, and Hooksy able to respond in time, able to throw it back in their hands before it's too late. Could have gone out of hand completely. Pasha, though, last man standing. 2 men below 20 HP. Hooksy, 100. And this is the opportunity that Pasha might have had to close out with a victory. Unfortunately, Farley got an off angle, and he will be able to shut down any sort of an attempt that youngsters might have had. 2-0 in Copenhagen Flames. Starting off with a victory, although it does feel like the SJ victory, if you know what I mean, right? Where they started off 3-1 and then it was just a complete turnaround with CPH Flames taking them down completely. Although, fair enough to the cause, it is going to be... Okay, Pasha burns alive in the end. The Molotov doesn't extinguish the molly, or excuse me, the smoke doesn't extinguish the molly, as Roger will take down Tetsek. But Shane, again, back to a 3-on-3, and Roger, they know he's there. Pop flash, allows himself to perhaps get a free kill. Another one, yes he does, there it is. One more, Calicious. Oh no, the ladder. But luckily, Hooksy. Still a 1-on-1. What a...
And surely got to expect right now that he's coming from some form of angle that's not visible to him. Can't be predicting CT at this point, and look. The way that he adjusts Basso, the timing's so unfortunate for Tudson, and as he peeks the corner, still lands himself the spray down. Surviving on 19 HP, and youngsters, well, they bagged themselves the first round, considering that CPH Flames got a lot of kills in rapid succession, had that 3-on-2 advantage. Would have been 3-on-1 if Roger didn't climb the ladder there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for CPH Flames, they do fall. Goes in the favor of youngsters. Now a force buy on the CT side, and like you said, they've broken them this time. Winning this one will put them back down to an eco, and youngsters, well, they'll be taking a swift T-side lead yet again. It all comes down to this. A scout and an M4, couple of pistols as well in the mix.
And realistically, not a bad buy if you consider all the options and all the angles. Shane, though, will refrag Farlig. He had to make up the peak for his teammate Roger. Even with an M4 was not enough to frag. Oh, he was spotted.
Oh yeah, they spotted his little ankle.
Ah, that is unfortunate. Well, on top of that, of course, Hooksy and Basso both. One already been noted on short, and well, Basso now. Goodbye, good night. That's going to be a 3-2 coming up most likely. The next round is the full eco round for Copenhagen Flames, although they did double force on train.
True, yeah.
So we could be seeing another kind of scenario like that. But I have to point out that that is extremely unorthodox and very rarely works out in your favor. It can work out, it can surprise your opponent, but you have to adjust your play in order for it to work, which means either aggressive or otherwise, you know, changing up so radically your tactics that it is highly unanticipated or otherwise unprepared for.
Yeah, and especially I don't think they'll do it this early into a...
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, they'd be sort of offering themselves on a little plate, the youngsters at this point. Nice little shot by Hooksy, at least with the scout. But thankfully, youngsters kept 3 rifles alive as well, so they'll be able to be pretty safe in this one. Mid-aggression to be taken by CPH Flames, and well, as soon as Okalicious realizes he'll have a nice time closing out a couple of kills, gets in time for the reload as well. Roger, well, he'll fall. Okalicious should be picking up a 4K. Unfortunately, Basso will eventually shut him down, but bomb is planted. 4-on-1. Basso shouldn't particularly be saving this AK. They should just send Pasha with that MAC-10 to hunt him down, and well, that's exactly what they've done. Smart play, not sacrificing the rifle, but can definitely pin him down very quickly with that MAC-10, and well, exactly the case. 3-2. AK being carried over, and like you said, now that youngsters have that lead, it is the buy coming through from CPH. We'll see. Maybe a glass cannon AWP on file. I think it might be the time to do so, and yeah, he's gone for it. Fair enough, good decision. What he can bring to the table, but have to win this one, or else again we're going to see youngsters taken another valid lead on this T side, and it's a T side that youngsters, they perform so well on.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that it falls back to our earlier discussion about glass cannons and, you know, ops, double ops being bought up. It is the same rule here to be applied. If you know, or if you're confident enough in being able to play with the AWP, not really being bothered by the fact you have a glass cannon, then absolutely go for it. But if your play does not reflect what a glass cannon requires, which is very delicate style, very delicate and a bit of a safe style, you could find yourself being killed before you shot off, or before you make your first shot off. But in any case, oh, boost into window. Although in Whorehouse, the lineup of Kalish is about to die. That is an excellent timing for Basso, and Roj finds himself a second. Farlick and Console, the lineup that works, the everything connects, and it's all eyes on Tutson. He should be dying, and he does. Console, not even a stray bullet to hit his head. 3-3, back up we go. Copenhagen Flames not going to let themselves go that easily, at least not the way they did on Train.
Yeah, that's a good response, ensuring, like you said, that they can't allow youngsters to be taking such an advantage. Unfortunately for that T side, they will be able to afford rebuy Pasha this time on the AWP. Again, something that we spoke about quite extensively is the consistency of Pasha. Well, if he hits his shots, I mean, with the confidence of taking a 16-3 in the last map, you've got to be at least feeling your game at this point. But if he's personally himself not landing those AWP shots, I'd either like to see the roll passed over to Tudson. Well, there we go. Proves me wrong. It's nice to see Farlig. I think one of the only times that you'll actually see him out-aimed AWP versus AWP. So you might want to clip that, put it in a loading case somewhere. OJ, nice.
Post it on Reddit.
Yeah, it's something that you very rarely see. That's an unfortunate timing, though.
Boy.
And Tudson, Console peeking a little bit too early there. Closing out into a 4-on-2. Instant save to come out of the CT side. 2 rifles only being carried over, though, so a limiting factor already.
Yeah, another devastating loss. This not only spells an eco for the next, but it also spells the fact that youngsters are back on track once more. Their economy will be revitalized with 4 men surviving, most likely. Obviously not yet the end, but with 4 men surviving, the bank should be raising hell. And, well, oh, I love the fact they switch out from a double up into a single one. I think they've learned from their mistake today up against Heretics that they will not play double up, at least not on T side. Because we can both recall the fact that one could argue that they lost Mirage because of it.
I've got to agree, yeah, some of those double AWP T side rounds, especially considering that we know it ended 16-14. If they hadn't have been playing with a double AWP in some of those rounds, then yeah, we could have seen a whole different outcome.
In any case, here comes the buy. Here comes the bit of an eco. I mean, the 2 rifles saved up. Certainly one could say that Flames could have bought up perhaps a Kevlar or 2 to make sure that if Bass and Hooksy die without a kill or immediately, they can retrieve the rifles and use them in their own advantage as much as they can. But nonetheless, this is going to be a slow play towards A. A bit of a split, if you will.
Yeah, I'm liking the fact that youngsters, even as a side that can be so erratic, bringing in little aspects like this where they do slow down and split. Basso, whilst he is safe for now, a boost up sees the first kill going in their favor here, youngsters. Still, Basso is safe. Haven't particularly expected his position as of yet. Tudson will shut down Farlig, and with Hooksy being relatively low, they'll just pop a molly on him, make sure that he's shut out. This A bomb site, according to youngsters, is now clear, so they are going to bring the bomb in. They will realize fairly soon that Basso is in this position once they see the first man die in the bomb drop. Well, there it is. Shane's like, how's he been able to sit there that long? Well, I don't know either, but it's 5-3. They close them out fairly quickly and make the trade. This is the buy round that matters now. CPH Flames lose this one. I don't think there's any hope in this T side. That'll be 7-3. Again, a similar scoreline to what we saw in that first map here on the T side of Train. And youngsters, they seem to be having such a great time, so much confidence just running through their plays that CPH Flames, I don't think they've faced anything like this as of yet in this qualifier.
Yeah, it doesn't really ring a bell to them, maybe even. They're not prepared for this kind of play. Youngsters, though, they lose Pasha, but again, Farlig on the right side of the window. He's not really able to escape his destiny, which is a bullet to the head. And we can see that the money, again, Copenhagen Flames, they've invested everything into this. They know there's a man in Whorehouse, and they most likely are aware of the fact there's a high chance there could be a secondary coming to support this. They've already got a man coming through B house. Hooksy, he needs to focus back on B. If he loses B side control, that might as well be the end of the round. And youngsters, smart so far that they slow down. They don't allow themselves to be picked apart that easily and that quickly. Vaso retrieves the up, though. He's going to switch it out with Hooksy. Oh, the peak, though. Ooh la la, that's it. Again, slow and steady and alone. No support, no chance. Re-entry for Copenhagen Flames.
Highlighted, right?
Yeah, that's something that we have said about youngsters. They are making this kind of mistake time and time again. And, well, it is a problem on their side.
Going to be costing them a second kill as well. Shane caught solo towards short. No support out of him. This time, a bomb site at least looking to be taken. They only have a Molotov. I think that 2 to work with on the side of offensive nades. Basso going to spot Tudson. Nice little peek from him. Fairly certain console. Yeah, he did spot Oculicious. They might try and force out a bomb plant at least. They peek out of Roje, and they do catch Basso, but as he does finish it off. 5-4, CPH Flames remaining competitive, keeping the scoreline close. The money, still good for the T side, can reinvest yet again. 3 players kept alive for CPH Flames, though, so their economy, at least for now, will be a little more stable. AWP back in the hands of Farlig, gifted by Basso, of course. Will they take a secondary? No, it's an M4. Wise decision. Youngsters again, though, they know that the economy is still on the ropes for the CT side, and a single T side round is what will really sway it in their favor.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Check. He's going to pick off Farlig. He's not been as prominent in these last couple of maps than what we've seen in the entire rest of this qualifier. Anyway, he's been sort of bullied around by these 2 opponents.
Very true. It certainly has been a bit lackluster coming out of him, but I think it's fair to say that, you know, as the IGL, he has the benefit of the doubt, although Roje somehow through the smoke, not sure if he heard him or perhaps even saw him for a second there. A free kill. Back to a 4-on-4, and luckily for youngsters, they at least got rid of the AWP player, Farlig, but Hooksy's still alive and he can potentially retake the offense. Look at this, 4 players on 8 for the defense so far. Oculicious gets the entry. Flames do get 2 though. Console, great spray down. And it puts an end to the push, at least for a little while longer. Tutson, does he check CT? Surely he does. Close range, he doesn't. He scoped in too soon, too fast, and it's Pasha that dies against Hooksy from pit. It is perfect, 5-5. And we are ready to see this one develop even further forward. Copenhagen Flames in a pretty good position.
Yeah, tying it up. That's a really strong run of rounds that they've had, now putting youngsters down onto an eco scenario. Oculicious may be overexpending a little bit, but they can definitely work with the loss bonus that they get. Farlig, nice flash assist by Roje. Oculicious, the first of 4. And it should be a fairly simple round for CPH Flames, but Pasha, nice deagle shot first. Second by Techek.
Oh la la.
Oh, please, not again. Basso, he's going to be on towards short, whiffing the spray. Luckily able to catch out the first, but again, there's Shane. Oh, Farlig, he has to be so careful right now. The peak could definitely come through. Pasha. Oh my god, I think they've actually done it.
Yeah, they have.
3, Farlig. He surely has no chance of winning this. Spots out the first, even lands the tag. Pasha, he's just waiting. He's like, you know what, guys? Give me a second. I'll hear him running through CT. Got my rifle in hand. It's nice and pretty. And exactly so. That's a beautiful round out of Pasha. Opening up with 3 kills, especially to bring that deagle to light. Beautiful.
I'm a little bit lost for words with how youngsters are making it look easy when they have pistols and Kevlar, and then on gun rounds, they just kind of get destroyed left, right, and center. Luckily, this is not the ending here yet for Copenhagen Flames. They will have a chance to kind of throw themselves back on the menu in a way. This will be most likely a force buy by the looks of it. Console and Hooksy already investing fully into it. Roje doesn't really have much of an option besides that. And Basso and Far, like, well, one could say best case scenario, they save up for the AWP next. Although we all know that maybe that's not even going to be much of a difference anymore. In any case, this is next level stuff coming out from youngsters, and they're improving as we are watching them.
That's the thing. These guys coming into it, I think we all had a pretty skewed vision of this roster when we saw them play in Summer Smash. And they had, of course, an entirely different lineup minus Pasha and Tudson. But then to see them come in with the stabilization of a solid in-game leader, bring in, again, a pretty unknown name that is the form of Shane. But then for him to play pretty astoundingly, had some very solid series. Of course, you know that Oculicious is going to be good. You've seen him in Virtus Pro. And again, it's arguable for him that he probably shouldn't have been benched from that roster. I think he was one of the better statistical performers with that side. But again, definitely offering his services and should be snatched up fairly soon off of the free agent market, or at least with VP's contract, probably with a buyout fee. But still, like you said, they're just getting better and better the more time that they have to play against these opponents. Back into a force buy this time from CPH Flames. This is risky. And I'm not talking like this is real risky. This could be the first half risky with the way that youngsters right now are looking. This could be an 8-5 again before a rebuy out of Flames.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? I guess Farlig, Basso both don't need to save for the up, but Farlig keeps 800, so there's that. Unfortunately, it's not going to help Basso with the entry for Pasha, and he's taking the lead with the up once more. And youngsters, they seem to know what's up. They'll be retrieving the bomb, moving back through mid, most likely splitting for a B play, maybe even an A1 with, of course, Oculicious in pit already. Oh, Pasha. Oh, he noticed them. Yeah, he definitely sees them now. The bomb has to get the hell out of there. Tetsik is the one to salvage it. Oh, Pasha misses his shot. That's a bit of an ouchie. That's an up drop back to Copenhagen Flames, and that's not exactly a weapon you want to trade out to a CT side that is currently playing a force buy, and it will most likely save whatever they can in order to make up for the loss they're already gathered. In any case, youngsters, 7-5 is unescapable for them right now, and it's a good half ending already, regardless of how it may go down in the end. No matter what, though, the up save will come through almost certainly. Oh, Hooksy could even get a second kill. That'd be pretty good. That's it. Yep. Nope, never mind. Hooksy whiffing a little bit. But Roj, I think he saves it. Almost certainly so.
Yeah, and thankfully he does. Going to be giving that AWP out to Farlig. Actually, nah, give it to Hooksy. He looks a little better than Farlig in this current situation. But either way, it is that eco round to come. CPH Flames, unfortunately, not able to make too much with that previous round. And again, you can see youngsters starting to stack that cash. They're going to be safe after this round for the final couple of the first half, at least. And so it's down to CPH Flames. It all depends on whether or not that we will actually see double digits out of this side. And again, that AWP being absolutely worthless. Roj will find a first, but it is a trade again out by Techcheck. AWP to be retrieved, and he knows that's happened. Basso misses the shot. Console will dive down, but they now know where he is. AWP in hand, a simple round for youngsters. Yes, there was a couple of men, but they have the money by the sides. And as they do here, Console should be a fairly simple shutdown for Pasha, providing he doesn't whiff this. And of course he doesn't. He's having a more solid series than what we saw again earlier. So glad to see that he's at least putting kills on the board and doing it in a sensible fashion.
Yeah, very much through. An important salvage of the up, though, once more, because if CPH would have transferred it to this one, we could have been seeing a very different buy coming out of them. Maybe even double up, almost certainly so. Hooksy and Farlig, we know if they've been good with it before, but oh boy, Hooksy! He's going to be caught in window. Tutson this time takes the lead, and I'm happy to see that the peak was his, and of course the timing as well. Roj pushed up mid. I think they're aware of this because they did see a player jump down. At least he caught a glimpse of him jumping down. And Tetsik, this is a fight that's going to be vital for both sides. If they are able to, if youngsters are able to win, the A side will be conquerable. If Hooksy, excuse me, if Roj is able to win, then Copenhagen Flames will have a chance to salvage this one yet, although Paso, no, low HP, no bullets, no chance, and oh, Tutson. I guess we could say this might turn out even worse than how SJ and Copenhagen Flames went on their first map.
Yeah, this is looking real desolate for the Danes now.
By.
Yeah,
I mean, full buy, obviously, with what they can.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough though, right? MP9s, Deagle, and Farlig. They already know the man's an underpass, so that's info gathered for them. Even if he aggresses inside of the back of B holes, it's not particularly going to make too much. And again, you can see that CPH Flames, the initiative is there. They want to try and push down toward ramp, see what they can grab, but youngsters, they focus so much on middle progression, and it's worked out so well for them. They've been able to get this at least 5 or 6 rounds in this first half, take a lot of control away from CPH Flames, split through short, connector, have that boost up into window. So they've definitely given CPH Flames a run for their money so far in this first half. And like you said, if it ends double digits, which most likely it will when you're facing a buy like this, getting into that second half pistol round is paramount for the Danes.
It really is. I mean, usually we wouldn't say that with 5 rounds already being gathered for them, but if we're honest, if you take a look at how it's all went down and how behind they're starting to fall here, things could really take a very wild turn. Hooksy, nice attempt of a push. Unfortunately, the timing for pretty much all 3 players is the worst it could ever be. Roger and Basso, they take themselves 2 players, so a chance of a 9-6 ending is still on the board. Basha is low, so is Detsik. And Roger is ready for the off angle, spots him, but not enough. Detsik once more pulls it into a 1-on-2, and the crossfire is set up here through connector in sight. Basso, oh, the smoke, so smart. I mean, basic, but smart. Unfortunately, Detsik abuses the timing and gets himself a free kill, 10-5, and this is worst case scenario for Copenhagen Flames. They lost the half against SJ 8-7. Excuse me, they won the half 8-7, alongside winning the first pistol and then going to lose the second. But oof, what a tough match this has been already.
Yeah, this is hard now for Copenhagen Flames. It essentially resorts to that pistol, and if that can't come to fruition, then essentially it's the first gun round, and that's the only couple of chances they'll have in this second half to make light of what is a very bad situation. Still, with how good that youngsters have looked, you've got to say that if the pistol round does go in their favor, if they can find a way to quickly shut down at least these first couple of rounds from this CT, or on their CT side, you've got to say it's surely got to be a similar scenario to map number 1, and youngsters,
Yeah.
they might be closing out this series way quicker than we expected.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we could be seeing a 2-0 that, honestly, I would never say is gonna be happening in this kind of position. But then again, you know, it is what it is. And of course, we'll be back with the second half in a matter of moments. So stay tuned, and we'll return in a few moments.
Counter-terrorists win.
Loot.bet. Made for live betting.
Welcome back. 10-5, and well, whew, here we go. It is time to shine for Copenhagen Flames. They will be buying themselves 2 smokes, 4 flashes, excuse me, and a standard A execution. And youngsters, they've read them far and hard. They've got 4 men for the defense, and they'll be ready for this play. It's what Copenhagen Flames did against SJ, and I'm fairly certain youngsters were watching that. And well, this is it. This is it, Kieran.
Yeah, straight out of the Palace position. First kill, second kill. Bomb looking to try and make it onto the site, but it's dropped out at Palace. It's an absolute shutdown. What do they even do when they're facing off against the amped up players of this side? 11-5, and what a way to open up that pistol round. This is looking so good for youngsters right now. We've got to praise them with how good that they've been in these past couple of series. Yes, they lost against Heretics, but I think it was only a narrow loss. I mean, that 16-14, if they'd have made a couple less mistakes, would have been in their hands, and they might have been already in this event right now, but unfortunately, had to come through down to this lower game. I mean, they've made a light work of it so far, but yeah, this is looking so good for these Polish guys, and especially with some of these being so young with Shane and Tudson. I think they're 19 and 17 respectively. So a lot of talent.
With all the talent that has been gathering, it seems like Copenhagen Flames have just shut down completely, as if they've lost their will to perform anymore. I mean, it is all just going wildly wrong on all parts. 12-5, as we have Copenhagen Flames coming up with one of the last full buys they'll be having. They lose this, and they're back to square one. They're back to where they started at the beginning. They'll be having no money, they'll be having no rounds, and they'll be having just a single rebuy left afterwards. That's going to be, well, the last one they'll have at all in this tournament.
Yeah, that's scary for the side. Tudson
Jeez.
just gonna peek out with the scout, as you do, into middle. Very reasonable thing to do. Tags console down to 12. He's gonna be a little miffed off with that one. Roger trying to regress into connector though. That's a nice first kill to find. Check potentially looking to get himself a trade. Well, Pasha does exactly that. And especially with console being low as they whittle down the members of this team. Techek closing out Farlig. Shane's down toward ramp. Roger eventually to finish him off, but not before he's put down to 28. The bomb is on the rotate. But again, so is the rest of youngsters. Down inside a window, provide that jungle support. The A bomb site should be not impossible to take right now. And as soon as they spot the info, as soon as they see Roger venturing across this balcony position, it should be a fairly simple shutdown. They'll hear him drop off unless he uses the ladder. And as soon as that bomb's planted, we'll see the pincer of this bomb site. Smoke goes down. That gives massive info. Tudson with that scout. He can drive by peek if he wants to, but he's going to stay safe, wait for the rest of his team. And now that bomb's planted, now they'll commit to the retake. 35 HP.
Slow response.
40 HP combined. Very slow, yeah.
Bit of a slow response. Certainly expected perhaps a bit of a faster rotation over. In jungle, though, Tetsek will take down Roger. Back to console. It goes. He has no Molotov. He smokes himself into pit, and he's going to be abusing that smoke as much as he can. But there's a counter smoke, and it's all eyes on console. Can he kill the diffuser? No, denied. 13-5. It is going to be youngsters that will take them down. And even with the plant, there is very little money to work with. Of course they should go for an eco, I should say, because they need utility to win this game. But Roger, fast buy, console the same, and well, the rest will follow suit. This is pretty much the final breath of Copenhagen Flames. Oh, through the smoke. Oh boy, that is a tough one. Hooksy. Is he? Oh. Well, Roger takes down Pasha, so there's that. And Tetsek will be dying as well. So fair enough. It's at least going to be an advantage to Copenhagen Flames. With bomb side B being lost, that's a save. That's 13-6.
Smart from youngsters, though. Backing away with the rifles. But like you said, Copenhagen Flames, nice little B bomb site take out of them. Keeping 3 alive here on the CT side. Pasha, plenty of money for him as well, so we'll have no issue purchasing going into round number 20. But at least for CPH Flames, they do get themselves that bomb plant, keeping 4 players alive. It's always going to benefit their economy to have a rise, or at least a round where they keep the majority of their players alive, and yeah, they'll at least be safe for another round. So good showing out of CPH Flames, wanting to see more of that from them. But again, it's youngsters that hold all the cards close to their chest. Pasha going to bring out a secondary AWP as well. Fair enough.
Yep.
I kind of like it at this point in the game. You can really start to whittle down CPH Flames with a secondary AWP to support Tudson, of course, who has been stellar. And again, they're reading this well. 3 men initially toward the A site. Hooksy down to 56. An early nade interaction, potentially, although he is top mid.
Well,
Spotted as well.
yeah, it's going to be an A play. Farley makes it quite obvious this is an A play. Oh, Kalicious, oh, he's going to find himself one. That is not a good start. Basso's low, pretty low. Console will refrag, but oh, the Kobe and Tutson. And Tutson once more. He... Jesus. Youngsters make it look so easy, as if there is not a challenge at all. And, well, I think it's fair to say that that's pretty much it, right? That was an attempt from Copenhagen Flames that perhaps it would have been a chance for them to get back into this game, and they will rebuy, of course. There's the up on far, like the AK's coming out as well, but not a position to be happy about, nor anything else of the like.
I have no idea why Farley peeked that when they... Fair enough, if he was the first man to throw grenades, then sure, but...
Lord.
The fact that grenades had already been thrown,
Ouch.
they're instantly going to be drawn to that position. This round's been an absolute shutdown. You can see from Flames, the energy's gone, unfortunately. The entire game is absolutely out of their hands. And now that they've force bought, or at least invested their money, they'll have nothing to go into this final round with. And honestly, I've got no stress in saying that it probably is going to be the final round. 15-6 on the board, and a very limited buy round to come, especially after they won that one round in the middle of things. That put their loss bonus down at least a step. And now that Farley has surely been spotted, I think they realize, yeah, they're going to adjust very nicely for this. Tudson's there for the peak, 15-6. It's a weak-ass buy to come in round number 23 or 22. And this should be where youngsters wrap it up and confirm their place in the Loot.bet Season 3.
Unless they screw up royally and throw themselves in the water, well, into the gap in between the deagles and all that's going to be coming their way. This should be 16-6 pretty surely. A single rifle on far leg, the rest with mech 10s and a deagle. That's pretty much it. Mid play not going to come through, obviously. There's no point in it. They're going to be hitting B, and this time Shane is the one that's going to be on the testing block, or at least the chopping one. No matter how it goes, though, it's already an advantage. As Tetsik finds himself one. Shane alive on B. Finally gets caught by Farley. So there's that. Oh, but the bomb. No, the bomb gets dropped in ab. So Kalicious Pasha. It's all lining up. And back to Row J it goes. A 2v1 and a clutch round for the Danes. Copenhagen Flames trying to stay alive in the close qualifier for Loot.bet Season 3. And I think their fuse is about to blow. As we have Row J in a 1-on-2 clutch round. Smoke, flash. He can use this to his advantage as best he can, obviously. A Kalicious and Pasha. He spots one, but he gets tagged. It doesn't help him if he spots it. Pasha will line up the shot. GG. 16-6 final score. It is going to be youngsters 2-0 up against Copenhagen Flames. That is commendable to say the very least.
If there was one series of today that I would have thought would have been 3 maps, it was probably this one.
Yeah.
Which, for youngsters to wrap this up 2-0 just shows how good they've been in this series. And not only that, how good they've been through this closed qualifier. Had a really unfortunate battle with Heretics that sadly they didn't come out on top of, which I think if a couple of those rounds would have gone in their favor, they definitely would have been able to take that 2-1. But honestly, they got the job done when it was the final call of asking. And like you said, Copenhagen Flames, it was unfortunate the mentality dipped at the final point. Obviously, it's hard playing back-to-back best-of-3s, but when the job's got to be done, it's got to be done. And unfortunately, youngsters better side today.
Yeah, definitely the better side. And, well, we have ourselves the 2 teams that will be joining the 6 already invited into the main league, making up for a total of 8. And I think, no, wait, already 8 invited. So that's going to be up to 10, and then 6 more that will be invited by the time we start the main league next week. In any case, that has been one hell of a close qualifier. That's it.